Hello, this video is a guide to the fight against the Erkling on node 644. There's really no cheap tricks or easy way around this, it's just kind of a knockdown, drag out fight. So in this video I'm going to walk you through first really quick some basic team building ideas, and then second we're going to discuss just the strategy of the fight and walk you through it and tell you how to do it. So first of all, as you can see for teams, I have selected units that are weak to blunt. These are not the best units. In fact, I would say half of the units that I have selected are bad, but I wanted to show you that this fight is less about just bringing the most meta units, which is certainly going to help a lot, and more about how you play the fight. So I've gone in intentionally with units that are either resistant to blunt or units that are like the She Association and they can just kind of eat dirt and be fine. Like Sunshower Heathcliff can just tank hits and be fine. She Association Ishmael, She Association Don Quixote, they can tank hits and be fine. Disei Yisang is a tank and resistant to blunt. Zwei Faust is a tank and resistant to blunt. And the middle Merceau, similarly, is just a guy with a lot of HP who's weak to blunt. For the egos here, I've just brought all the normal egos. The only thing you're going to see is you're going to see me use Fluid Sac on Faust once, and you're going to see me use chains on Merceau about 3 times. But that's it for ego, so Fluid Sac is the only non-default ego. And as you'll see here, as I'm going to hit play on the recording, on Heathcliff, this is important, I have unequipped all ego except the default. So Heathcliff cannot corrode. And you'll see why that's important in a second. It's because the Erkling targets Heathcliff exclusively and inflicts a ton of sinking. Now, I've turned off the melee music, and I put on my own music while I was doing this fight, so that way you don't hear 2 people speaking at once, since there are vocals in this. But as you see, I'm looking at the fight. I'm just looking to build up some sanity in this first wave, just checking the clashes. Sunshower Heathcliff is a negative sanity unit, so I don't want him to clash right now. And I just get going. Round 1, pretty simple again. Like I said, the goal of round 1 is just build up sanity, and that's what you see me doing here. Don't really care particularly about the henchmen that much, but they're just nice to farm a bit. I lose the clash with Ishmael, but it's not a big deal, again, because I brought units in that are extremely easy to use and don't take a lot of blunt damage, and they don't care if they get hurt. So I don't really mind that I lost the clash. Okay, wave 2. Now I'm going to pause for a second, and you're going to see that there's 2 units with the Gloom Shield. When the units with the matching color to Heathcliff die, so in this case, as we can see, Josephine has the matching color to Heathcliff. When the unit with the matching color dies, Heathcliff will enter a phase where he's weaker, and all his friends will die. So we want to kill Josephine as fast as possible, because the fight gets a lot easier when you kill the matching units. So I'm just lining up some clashes. Looking again. Normally I would just start targeting Josephine exclusively, but since this is only round 2, I'm trying to build up sanity. So I only have 1 extra attack going to Josephine. Take these clashes. Ishmael eats shit again. But again, it doesn't matter because I've specifically brought a team that's very easy to use. Isan gets some damage in on Josephine. This is what we want. She is weak to Gloom, because it doesn't make her tougher against Gloom when she has the Gloom Shield. She's actually weaker to Gloom. That's what you want to use against her. So you'll see I bring in Heathcliff with his Gloom skill. Beautiful. Okay. Now Josephine recovers from stagger. Very annoying, but whatever. Line up some clashes again. You'll see I'm not going for the guy who's downed, because I don't care about the downed henchman, because he's gonna die when Josephine dies. So that's the only priority this turn, is killing Josephine. There we go. More sanity on Don Quixote. Ishmael finally wins a clash, thank God. Gloom skill against Josephine, since she's weak to Gloom. They're staggered. And now Heathcliff comes in to finish her. And there you go. See, all of Heathcliff's friends died, and now he's weaker, and we get the benefit of the shield. It's very nice. Just the normal lining up of clashes, trying to figure stuff out. You'll see I use chains here. Chains is probably the best default ego, extremely useful in fights that you're not prepared for, because it just weakens the boss so much with its -5 attack power. Totally goated ego. Yeah, just getting through the phase where he's weak. Nothing really to talk about right now. Thank you, Muso. Ishmael loses again, which is kind of irritating, but you know, it doesn't matter because she doesn't take that much damage, and it's okay if she does because she's Shear Association, so she gets better at low health. Heathcliff is still in his weaker phase, we can see because he hasn't summoned any friends again, so it's very nice. This fight gets a lot easier when you just target down the person with the matching color. Dunkyo loses, but whatever. She gets better at low health. And he's staggered. Very nice. Take this chance just to put some damage on him. Not a lot to say here, just putting some damage. Sometimes I save skills for clashing, like what I'm doing with Faust. I'm saving her skill to the clash, because I'm playing it very safe this fight. Again, I'm bringing a team full of... These are frankly bad units, but I'm just bringing them to show that it's not the units that are the most important part. It's the strategy of mitigating damage and just playing the long game. He has 2,000 health, and we're in it for the long haul. Okay, so now the matching color is purple, so we want to kill Linton, because he's the matching guy. And Linton is weak to envy. So it's all in on this guy. He needs to die at all costs. Setting up some clashes to try to build some SP up too. But mostly you can see. Now I'm going to pause here for a second. My Heathcliff is resistant to blunt, and because he's Sunshower Heathcliff, he gains protection at when he gets targeted by enemy attacks. So I'm just ignoring all of the Erkling's attacks, all of them, and I'm just letting Heathcliff take them because I know Heathcliff will survive, and I'm using that as an opportunity to just pile damage on to Linton. Now you could do this with like default Heathcliff because default Heathcliff resists blunt. You could do it with multi-crack Heathcliff because multi-crack Heathcliff resists blunt. The best one to do it with is probably R-Corp Heathcliff because R-Corp Heathcliff has an evade. Now he is fatal to blunt though, so you need to get him to 45 sanity so he can evade consistently. Oh, there we go, Linton's dead. But yeah, just anything that can survive this assault. Like LCB, multi-crack, R-Corp with the evade, or Sunshower Heathcliff. Now he corroded because he got hit with so much sinking from the Erkling, but it doesn't matter because I unequipped all ego, so I knew I would be allowed to just tank those attacks, and instead of corroding and team killing my whole team, all he does is panic for one turn. And I don't care because now the Erkling is in his weakened mode when he's super easy to bully, so it's okay that I have two people that are panic or staggered. Yisung loses, but whatever, he's a tank, so I don't care. In fact, Yisung is still on full HP. It's insane. I love tank IDs. Unfortunately, I have not met the health conditional on Ishmael yet, but that's fine. Just means things are going alright if she's not super low health anyway. Yeah, I'm trying to get her down to her health conditional. But he's just in his weakened phase, so things are very chill right now. Here you can see I'm contemplating using Fluid Sac. but I decide not to because I want to get the Shi Association units down to lower health.
보고합니다.
There we go. This is kind of nice. Heathcliff Rollerball Tails. He took some damage from the big bleed stack he had on him, but it wasn't nearly enough to kill him. And yeah, we're just playing the fight's mechanics. I mean, kill the unit with the shield at all costs, and then bully Erkling while he's in his weak phase. He uses his unclashable attack, but there's nothing you can do about that, so I don't worry about it too much. Now here's a bit unfortunate. You might think, oh my gosh, it's a game over, but again, I've brought a tank in. I know I have sustain and healing. I'm clashing what I can, 3 of the 4, so only 1 is going to get through to Heathcliff, and I don't care that, you know, I have people staggered or panicked. And he did all that sinking proc with his unclashable attack, so I couldn't stop the sinking from going off. But it doesn't matter because I unequipped Ego on Heathcliff, so he can't corrode. And there we go. Now he's staggered and I got to recover. All just very chill. No one's even close to dead other than Heathcliff, but he's a tank, so I have a lot of faith in him. And we've put a massive amount of bleed on him. Not because of my team, I'm not running a bleed team, because we're playing the fight's mechanics. And that's the bonus we get for having the Envy Shield, is we apply a lot of bleed. Alright, he summons more friends, so now I just need to go all in on killing the red guy. We're just gotta get the red guy dead, no matter what. You can see here, just piling in on the red guy. I'm still trying to get that HP conditional on Ishmael. It's actually kind of annoying because I couldn't get her to deal enough damage to Ishmael. But whatever, that just means things are going fine. Applying a little bit of chains on Heathcliff so he's easier to bully. Just piling some damage onto the big guy, the wolf. Cool. And we'll see how that all goes. Spoiler alert, it goes fine. Okay, get the chains on Heathcliff. Or Erkling, I should say. And boom, we start doing damage to the guy we need to kill. Only 3 attacks coming at me, so I have a lot of flexibility just to line up damage on. Like, Faust has a bonus with her skill 3s, why Faust does, where she regains 5 HP on a clash win. So that's why I used Faust skill 3 to clash instead of using it for its nice damage on. But that's because I know I'll be fine. Yeah, there you can see she regains some health. But Henley's cooked anyway, and all the friends die, and Heathcliff goes into his final phase. Now here, these dead rabbit henchmen, we don't care about them, so I'm just going to use an area of effect ego with an identity that's faster than them. So here I'm using it with Faust, who has 6 speed, and they only have 4, so she's going to go first. So then I can just ignore them, and just pile damage onto the Erkling. I was a bit hesitant of this because it seemed a little greedy, but no, it works out totally fine. Because none of them have bubble shields, so I don't particularly care about them. They aren't necessary. Annihilated. And now we just finish them off. The fight is as good as won. We've cleared all 3 phases with pretty bad units just by following the mechanics of the fight. This is big nuke, but it doesn't really matter because I unequipped all ego on Heathcliff, so he can't corrode. And Don Quixote does corrode, but it's so close to the end of the fight that even if he did a bunch of damage to my units, I could just heal off with the fluid sac. All we need to do is just press the damage button. I actually get really lucky and she doesn't target any of my units. This was extremely lucky. 1 in 7 chance. And he's cooked. Now I'm gonna end the recording here, so that way, yeah, you can see I actually kill him if you watch him explode. So that way I don't spoil the fight for you. And I hope that helped. Just kill the guys with the matching shield and bring units in that resist blunt damage. Resist blunt, resist blunt, resist blunt. Doesn't care if they get hit. Doesn't care if they get hit. Resist blunt. But there's so many other better units you could use for this. I mean, R-Corp Heathcliff has an evade, which is fantastic. I mean, you've got some great units out there for Yisong that can put in a ton of damage. There's excellent Faust IDs, like Regret would, is nice. Anyway, there's so many better IDs than what I used. But it doesn't really matter. Because again, all you have to do is follow the fight's mechanics. Anyway, I hope this helped, and if you have any questions or need more advice on the fight, just leave a comment below. And good luck out there, manager.